He got him. He struck out the side. Deep to left field. You've got to be kidding me.
Jeremy's pretty open to everybody on the clubhouse. You can notice that when you talk to him, he wants to learn. He wants to know more about baseball, about the team, and he's very humble. And I think that's the key to keep getting better. He's going to be a superstar type of player, and he's, like I said, he's going to bring a lot of good things for us.
The homestand continues here in Houston. Astros fans getting to know their new shortstop, Jeremy Pena. They must like what they've seen so far. You see him and the rest of the team getting stretched out ready for the final game of this series between the Los Angeles Angels and the Houston Astros here at Minute Maid Park. Shohei Ohtani going for the Halos. Jake Odorizzi going for the Astros, and Jeremy Pena will lead things off for the Astros just like he did last night. The news was announced today that Jose Altuve would go on to the 10-day IL. So 9 games into his major league career, we're looking at Jeremy Pena, and we're impressed so far with what he's done. The last 2 games are the first 2 home games he's played in his career in front of those home fans. He was thrilled for that, thrilled to hear the home fans cheer for him. But then he came through on Monday with a couple of really nice at-bats, including a plate appearance that ended in a bases-loaded walk for him, showing patience. And then last night, showing some pop. His first career home run right here at Minute Maid Park, his second on the season. He's done a really nice job offensively and defensively as well. An impressive player and a very impressive person as well. I know the guys in the booth want to talk about him as well, so I'm going to send it up there. Todd Callis, Jeff Blum on the call. Hey, guys.
Julia, thanks. And Blummer, if you didn't know any better and you just watched this guy for the first year, you would think Jeremy Pena's been around a little bit. He looks the part.
He really does look the part, and that was something that we wanted to see. We wanted to get our eyes on him. We finally had the chance in spring training. You know, Julia talking about him leading off. He was doing that in spring training, and he says he loves being up there because he gets more at-bats.
If we dive into the numbers, Pena already has become an analytic darling. He has a lot of top numbers for the Astros in 2022.
He does, and talking about looking the part on our HEB, no player does more. You're going to see Jeremy Pena moving around on defense. That's really the question where I was wondering, is he going to be able to fill that hole at shortstop? Because there is always action for the Houston Astros defense. He's made the everyday play, the fundamental plays, and we've seen a little bit of excitement as he extended out there in right field to make a great play.
And he brings the pop as well. Hit a home run against the Angels in Anaheim and here last night.
It's been a lot of fun. He gets those hits in bunches. He does have the power. It's got to be a little bit more selective about some of the pitches he goes and gets, but he's not afraid to go out there and take advantage of some mistakes. He's also let the league know that that inside pitch is not a place you want to go on him. He has the ability to pull the hands in, and again, we keep talking about him as if he's a veteran because he's acting like one, even though he's 23 years old.
Then that at bat the other day, bases loaded tie game in the 4th inning, got down to the count 1-2 to Michael Lorenzen, never gave in and took some tough pitches.
He did take some tough pitches, and you put a rookie in this situation, his first home game, they want to swing the bat and light the crowd up with that big swing. Instead, he took advantage of the pitch out of the zone and continued the inning, much like we've always seen Astro hitters go.
Offense, defense, discipline, and the analytic numbers I referenced are right there for you. He's already one of the tops in all of baseball in barrels per plate appearance.
Yeah, there's a lot of other rookies around the league that a lot of people have been looking at, but guess what? They're going to start looking at him when they start to see these numbers pop up. 3 outs above average, and second in defensive runs saved. But now you're starting to see the slug percentage come around, the hard hit percentage. This guy is going to be an asset in this Astros lineup for a while.
There is the new look for the Astros. Tonight we're going to have more on the space-age baseball uniforms, the Nike City Connect. Astros uniforms being unveiled tonight for the first time.
Let's do this.
Take a crack at the bottom line there.
Live lookings.
What about the third line?
PL Placata.
MLB Tonight, bringing the new season into focus, only on MLB Network.
Welcome to Space City. We're getting you ready for Game 3 of 3 between the Angels and the Astros. As you can see, fans making their way into Maid Park. They are very excited to see their team. Their team will look a little differently tonight. That's right. First time this season, the Astros will be wearing their City Connect jerseys. You've probably seen them. In fact, I know you have. Here they are. As you can tell, the numbers on the back, Space writing there, Space City on the front, paying tribute to the city's contributions to space travel. It's a very exciting night. The guys are excited to wear these. They're going to be wearing the all navy. We'll see rainbow socks, different batting helmets, and probably some custom cleats as well. We know that the fans have loved them so much that the Astros team store had a record high selling day on the day that these jerseys were launched. Exciting stuff there. And there's some really cool things going on around the ballpark, as you can see behind me, that fans can take part in as we host Space City Day, City Connect Day here at Maid Park. All right, we have a big one for you coming up. Are you ready for liftoff? Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Angels. Yordan Alvarez is ready to go. We'll be back with first pitch after this.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Budweiser Zero. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. A reminder from your friends at Silver Eagle Distributors, Houston. By Fubo TV. Stream the Astros on AT&T Sportsnet with Fubo TV. Visit FuboTV.com for a free trial. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Astros and Angels. Astros debuting their new Nike Connect Space City uniforms. And on the mound today for Houston is Jake Odorizzi.
Right-hander Jake Odorizzi is going to make that third start of the season. There you see the numbers before you. This season showing that fastball, that split. We need to see that fastball elevate and that split diving down out of the zone. Faced the Angels in the first start of his season, going 4 innings, allowing 6 hits and only 2 earned runs. Against the Angels overall in his career in 9 games started, has a 4.95 ERA.
First batter he will face today is the opposing pitcher Shohei Ohtani. When Ohtani pitched against the Astros on opening day, he became the first Major League player ever to be his team's first hitter of a season and throw out his team's first pitch of a season. Shohei will pitch in DH today. Taylor Ward is in right field batting second. Jared Walsh over at first base. Anthony Rendon will bat cleanup. Brandon Marsh bats fifth in center field. Max Stassi will catch Shohei today. Joe Adell in left field. Tyler Wade is the second baseman. And Andrew Velasquez makes his third start of the series at shortstop. The Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity with Jose Siri patrolling the middle of the outfield. He is flanked by Michael Brantley and Kyle Tucker. On the infield, it'll be Jeremy Pena and Alex Bregman. Nico Goodrum gets a start at second base with Yuli Gurriel over at first. Jason Castro, who has caught Jake Odorizzi a bunch, will be behind the plate. Only Jose Siri going with the high stirrups look today. showing off those new socks with the Nike Connect uniform, and we're underway with a fastball inside to Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani 1 for 6 in his career against Odorizzi. Takes a fastball for a strike. Home plate umpire is the crew chief, Jerry Meals. First time ever the Astros are wearing their Nike City Connect Space City uniforms. They'll wear them every Monday at home from this point forward. What's your first reaction?
I like them. Told you I was curious about the kicks too. It looks like Jake Odorizzi has a pretty cool matching set of spikes on.
Nice.
Yeah, these guys have a chance to show a little bit of the style. It's good these companies are accommodating. But I do like them. I wasn't too sure about the navy blue pant because that is a lot of blue, but I like them.
The monochromatic look. And you can see the guys spice it up with their spikes, or in Alex Bregman's case, the right sleeve. Same with Jeremy Pena.
You know what I really like is the number on the pant. Kind of a throwback to some of those early 80s, late 70s Astros uniforms.
Odorizzi loses the first batter of the game as he walks Shohei Ohtani to start this one. Odorizzi in his third start of the year begins with a walk. He walked 3 in his last start in Seattle. There you see the number on the right hip of the pants.
Some of the pitch mix for Jake Odorizzi. Heavy on that fastball and the slider and split. He should mix time between those two pitches. The occasional curveball. We saw him throw a curveball to Shohei Ohtani. He's trying to feel out that strike zone of Jerry Meals. Even though he wasn't hitting his spots, it looked like a couple of pitches got in the zone.
Off the plate for a ball. It's 1-0 to Taylor Ward. Ward missed the Angels' first 8 games of the year. He's reached 9 of 19 plate appearances on the season. Ward getting the start in right field. The Angels winning last night's game 7-2 after the Astros won the opener 8-3. Astros, since that Seattle series started, have been playing some lopsided games. They are, in the last 5 games, averaging a margin of victory or defeat of close to 6 runs per game. The closest game in that span, a 4-0 win for the Astros in Seattle, and that game never felt like it was as competitive as the score because Justin Verlander was in full command of that one. Now back to the screen. It's 1-2.
A couple of starts this season. You can see Jake Odorizzi, the hits he's allowed, 14 of them in that slash line. They're hitting .378 against him in the variety of pitches. The fastballs, he's thrown a lot of fastballs. He's fallen behind a couple of hitters and had to throw that fastball. But middle and up on some of those pitches that are being hit. Odorizzi's a guy that would like to attack early with fastballs in the zone and be able to get to the off speed, because when he's right, he's ahead and he's able to use that split to get under some swings.
Not real thrilled with either of his first 2 outings, lasting 4 innings and 4 1/3. Odorizzi started the second game of the season for the Astros. And pitching at home for the first time. The old rainbow jerseys back in the 70s used to have that number on the pants. As Plummer said, kind of a throwback to those old school uniforms and marrying the old with the new here. A lot of fans have picked up their merchandise. Record sales set by the Houston Astros over the last week. 2-2 pitch is a ground ball in the hole for a base hit. The Angels have their first 2 runners on tonight. Ohtani with a walk, and now Taylor Ward follows up with a single.
See where that pitch is on our MD Anderson strike zone. Missing a spot. You can see Jason Castro set up on the outside. The pitch tailing towards the inside. Ward does a good job of pulling the hands in, barreling and shooting it to left field. A couple of runners on early for Jake.
One thing we've noticed with Jake, especially against lefties, he's not getting as much swing and miss early on this season with the fastball as he has normally in his career. So he starts off Walsh with a breaking ball, and that misses low. There was a time before the injury shortened 2020 season for Odorizzi where he was right up there amongst the leaders in whiff percentage with his fastball. Ball gets away from Castro on the curveball, and it's 2-0. Ohtani on second, Ward on first. Angels with a threat. Nobody out here in the first inning. Picks up a strike on the inside corner, 2-1.
To your point, TK, with that whiff percentage in 2019 when Jake was an all-star, he had a 10 strikeouts per 9 innings that season. Highest total of his career. Did a great job. 2 seasons previous than with this one, he dropped down to right around 7.9 and 7.8. There we go.
There's that swinging strike with a fastball.
Getting in on Walsh with that fastball. Our mattress firm Supermo. Good location on that glove side.
Back in 19, his all-star season, the whiff percentage on the fastball, Garrett Cole was first, Justin Verlander was second. Those 2 guys vied for the AL Cy Young, of course. And then Jake Odorizzi was third at a 30.5% whiff percentage with the fastball. That number dropped down to 26% last year, and this year it's down to less than 7% as he misses down and in. And Odorizzi has walked 2 in this inning and now loaded up the bases. Big jam early for the Astros. So with the bases loaded, we'll get our first visit from the pitching coach, Josh Miller. Odorizzi did not walk any Angels first time he faced them. He's already walked 2 here in the first inning. The Astros in last night's game walked more than 5, and whenever they walk 5 or more, we showed you the breakdown yesterday, it usually doesn't bode well. Fromber walked 4, and they got 2 more walks from their bullpen as the night went along.
Yeah, you give any big league team that many opportunities, they're going to take advantage of it. Jake Odorizzi last time out had 3 walks in that outing against the Seattle Mariners. Went 4 1/3, gave up 8 hits.
Odorizzi will now face Anthony Rendon, the Houston native, playing back-to-back games after being left out of the lineup on Monday night due to illness. He has hit over 400 in the regular season in his 8 career games here at Minute Maid Park, including a 2-hit game last night. Slider misses away, 1-0. Odorizzi in his first 18 pitches has thrown just 7 strikes. That one's fouled away. It's 1-1. Astros won 3 out of 4 against the Angels in the first series of the year. The Astros then split in Arizona and lost 2 out of 3 in Seattle. So they are 1-1-1 in their 3 series. And today the rubber game of this 3-game set. Astros coming in at 6-5, trailing both Oakland and Los Angeles with a 7-5 record. 2-1 the count to Rendon. No Mike Trout today in the lineup for the Angels. Joe Maddon saying he's available to pinch hit and should play on Friday after their off day. Foul back, 2-2.
2-strike count. Got to find that pitch that you can either get a ground ball or a swing and miss on right here. Would really help out Jake Odorizzi. He is not a typical ground ball pitcher. Gets spoiled with guys like Framber Valdez, who's around 70%. Jake in his career is right around 36 to 38%.
Doesn't chase on a check swing on the slider. First base umpire Ed Hickok said no swing, and now the count's 3-2.
Jake could have used this one right here. Good pitch. It looked like he did go.
Ooh. That could have been strike 3. That would have been a big out. Now about to make his 23rd pitch of the inning. Mentioned Castro has worked a lot with Odorizzi. 33rd game with Castro behind the plate for a Jake Odorizzi start. Only Mitch Garver has caught Jake more in his career. A little bit low, and that'll be the 3rd walk of the inning, and walk in a run. Anthony Rendon taking a close pitch of the knees. Walsh walked on a close pitch inside, but they were both off the plate. And back-to-back walks, forcing in Shohei Ohtani, who walked himself. Three first-inning walks. The most walks Jake Odorizzi has ever allowed in a start in his career is 5. Last time he did that was 2018. Here's Brandon Marsh. Gets the call on the outside corner on the breaking ball, 0-1.
And again, Jake's not missing by much. Just a credit to the Angel hitters for laying off some of those borderline edgy type pitches.
Well, it's going to be a high intensity first inning for Odorizzi, as he is already approaching 30 pitches in the inning and already working up a little bit of a lather. And Blake Taylor is loosening up in the Astros bullpen before the first out has been recorded. Line drive over the head of Nico Goodrum into right field. That'll score Taylor Ward. Walsh being held at 3rd. The bases remain loaded as Brandon Marsh drives in his team leading 11th run of the year in game number 13 of the season for the Angels.
Jake's got to find a way to get it out here. You don't want this to spiral out of control early in this game.
The Astros do have an off day tomorrow, but they used 2 of their relievers yesterday for more than an inning. They used Phil Maton on Monday for more than an inning. I'd rather not have to start trying to piece together your bullpen this early, as Stassi takes a called strike. First time Stassi has faced Odorizzi. For the first time, Odorizzi gets to work ahead of the count here, 0-2. Walsh on third, Rendon on second, Marsh on first. We've had 3 walks and a couple of hits here in the first inning. He pitches in. Still no outs.
Throwing everything at the Angels to try and figure a way to get them out. So on 15 fastballs, and then he has a mix between the curveball, split, cut, and slider. He's only gotten 2 swings and misses so far. This is where it's tough as a defense behind Jake Odorizzi. You want to make a play for him, but when there hasn't been that much action, you kind of start to go from the balls of your feet back to your heels a little bit. You got to get mentally prepared and anticipate the ball being hit to you and trying to make that play to pick up your pitcher.
Called third strike. Put a fastball on the outside edge at 94 to free Stassi for the first out.
Good pitch, good location. Castro set up out there. He gets the pitch, frames it up, gets the call.
So now Joe Adell will bat. Adell has moved that batting average up after starting the year 0 for 9 against the Astros. He has hit in 6 of his last 8 games, including a 3-hit game yesterday that pushed his average up to 231. Catches the outside edge, and Odorizzi gets ahead of Joe Adell, 0-2. So after the first 5 batters all saw, or first 4 batters all saw the first pitch out of the zone. It was strike 1 to Marsh, 0-2 on Stassi, and now 0-2 on Adell. Adell was not in the lineup when Odorizzi started against the Angels in Anaheim. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts. Much needed for Odorizzi with the bases loaded. Now there's 2 outs, and he can maybe find his way out of this inning with only 2 runs scoring.
Yeah, as good as those last 2 ABs are, he's still not done yet. Still has the bases loaded, able to sneak the cheese past Joe Adell.
Now he'll face Tyler Wade. Wade and Shohei Ohtani, the only 2 Angels that have played in every game this year. Wade batting .360 on the season, 0 for 4 in his time against Jake Odorizzi.
When you're struggling, you got to get those borderline pitches, and Jake is not getting them.
And a lot of plate. 40th pitch of the inning. Wade with the Yankees for the last 5 years. acquired from New York in the offseason. Inside 3-1.
See if we can't get a big swing and a pop-up right here from Wade.
Odorizzi a little frustrated. He keeps missing edges. Now having a word with Jerry Meals, but that might be the last batter that Odorizzi will face, as he ends up walking 4 in the inning, 1 shy of his career high for any start. Was close, but just off the plate. A frustrating afternoon for Odorizzi, who will leave after 2/3 of an inning, allowing 3 runs and responsible for the 3 on base. He throws 42 pitches in this first. We'll have our Crawford Bach call to the bullpen. Blake Taylor will come on in the first inning.
Getting outdoors is all about the experience, the thrills, the rides, the memories. We put that in a bottle. Clean ingredients like coconut oil, activated charcoal, and shea butter. Everyman Jack, naturally derived, outdoor inspired.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers, like we do. Oh hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You could try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
This is the planning effect. If Raina's thinking about retirement, she'll get some help from Fidelity to envision what's possible. Fidelity can help her prioritize her goals by looking at her full financial picture. Plus, they'll help her pick an investment strategy, one she's comfortable with. And with a clear plan to get to retirement, Raina can enjoy wherever she's headed next. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
Yeah, do not adjust your screen. That is the top of the first. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and the score is 3-0 Los Angeles, as we have a call to the bullpen presented by Crawford Bach. Blake Taylor now on the bump in 4 games, doing a very good job finding himself in a tough spot right here. It's been very good against left-handed hitters, facing the switch hitting Velasquez to try and get the 3rd out. Hit the reset button right here.
4 walks in the inning allowed by Odorizzi. Now Taylor will face Andrew Velasquez and gets a swinging strike. Last year, Odorizzi left the game in late April on the 29th due to injury in the first inning, but today doesn't get through the first inning with 2 hits and 4 walks. Taylor gets ahead 0-2. That second pitch to Tyler Wade could have easily been a strike, but the other 2, the 2-1 pitch and the 3-1 pitch, were borderline, but possibly just off the edge. I think one of the more frustrating things today is, as much as he was wild but just barely.
Oh, just off the edges. And I went to Baseball Savant, just kind of took a peek at their strike zone that they have on their website, and 5 pitches at least touched the zone that he didn't get the call on.
Yuli knocks it down. High flip to Taylor, and safe is Velasquez. Angels get another run. Yuli tried to make a flip to Taylor, and the flip had a little air to it, a little loft on that flip, and maybe allowed Vasquez to just beat the throw.
A lot going on at first base with that base runner in front of him. Tracked it down. You're right. The flip elevated a little bit as Taylor tried to get over there and beat the speedy Velasquez. That left hand just getting in there. One of the rare times you see the dive get there before the position player. Ooh, man. Might have been able to slide a piece of paper in there, huh? Would that be enough to get it overturned?
Might have been worth the review, though. Cost the Astros a run.
What have you got to lose?
It'll go down as an error on Yuli Gurriel. Yuli's had a couple of chances this year that he normally would gobble up. As Ohtani shoots one high and deep to left field, Brantley will watch this one, and it'll be off the out-of-town scoreboard. 2-run score. It is now a 6-0 Angels lead. Ohtani batting for the second time in the inning. Drives in 2 with a double off the out-of-town scoreboard and left.
Unique opportunity where you get to help yourself out. Pitch up and away, get those arms extended, and use the manual scoreboard here at Minute Maid Park in his favor.
Not the greatest debut for the Nike City Connect uniforms today. Oof. Odorizzi's line is now closed. 2/3 of inning, 2 hits, 6 runs. 4 of the 6 will be earned. The last 2 will not be earned because of the error. Here's a pop-up off the bat of Taylor Ward, and this inning will thankfully come to a close. But 6 runs scored by the Angels in the first.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring. Aura.
What can you expect from ButcherBox? 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, and so much more. From farmers who believe in raising animals with care, with no antibiotics or added hormones, ever. All with free shipping right to your door. Together, we can make a difference. One meal at a time. Get free ground beef for the life of your membership.
The Astros starting lineup is presented by Texas Children's Hospital. Jeremy Pena will lead things off, followed by Michael Brantley. Alex Bregman has had a good season against the Angels early on. Yordan Alvarez hits cleanup. Kyle Tucker in right field. Yuli Gurriel at first. Nico Goodrum will get a start as the second baseman batting seventh. Jason Castro and Jose Siri round out your Astros lineup for Dusty Baker.
A lot of work to be done against last year's MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Pitching in his dirty uniform in this first inning. 2 starts this season. Has a 7.56. He's come out of a couple of ball games early. One against the Astros and his last start against the Texas Rangers. Went 3 2/3 innings and gave up 6 earned runs in that game. The Astros would like to see a repeat performance of that.
Shohei's all about first. It might be the first time a pitcher's ever had 2 plate appearances before throwing a first pitch as a starter. He'll face Jeremy Pena here. Pena, offensive star last night in a 7-2 defeat. Scored both runs for the Astros, including hitting his first Minute Maid Park home run. Well, the bad news is a big deficit. The good news is you've got 9 chances to come back.
Plenty of game left, as they say.
And Ohtani hasn't been quite as good in the first 2 starts as we've seen him in the past. He's never lost 2 starts in a row before this year, and he lost his first 2 starts this season.
Well, the Astros do have good numbers against him. They've hit .266 as a team against Ohtani in his career against the Astros and has a 5.92 ERA.
He was very heavy on the slider facing Jeremy Pena the first time around.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I was really curious to see how he approaches Jeremy Pena, and I was also very curious about how Jeremy was going to adjust. But here early on, things change a little bit when you have that 6-run lead. You have a tendency as a pitcher to be a little more aggressive in the zone and try and get ahead early, or have the hitters get themselves out.
There you go. There is the slider. He struck out Pena twice, both times on 3 pitches in Anaheim, and 5 of the 6 pitches were sliders. And he goes back to the slider against Pena and strikes him out here. Get his first out of the game.
Best in Texas power pitcher is driven by Ford. Take another peek at Shohei Ohtani and some of the pitches that he has and the numbers against them. The fastball can range anywhere from 93 to 99 miles an hour. We've seen him touch that early on this season. With the batting average against it, 294. It's a secondary pitches that are very good. Obviously, we just saw the slider, but that split can be devastating like it was last year.
Yeah, last year and throughout his career, that has been a nearly unhittable pitch as he delivers down and into Michael Brantley. Michael 3 hits in 7 career bats against Shohei. Coming into this season, in at-bats that ended on the splitter, you saw the numbers from last year, but in his career, hitters were just 14 for 186. That's an .075 batting average in 186 at-bats that ended on a splitter. 114 of those, 61%, ended with a strikeout. 96-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike, 2-1. There you see the numbers last year, and then this year the unhittable pitch became hittable. They're only 2 for 8, small sample size, but his first home run ever allowed against the splitter, hit by Jonah Heim on an 0-2 pitch in his last start in Texas.
So miracles happen.
Yeah, I mean, the invincible pitch coming into the season was finally touched up for a home run. Prior to that, just 5 doubles in 186 at bats, the only extra base hits against the splitter. Brantley frustrated at the plate as he strikes out. You usually see that from Uncle Mike as he snaps his bat. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ohtani.
Yeah, that snap is unusual for Mike.
Here's Alex Bregman. Bregman 4 for 9 in his career against Ohtani. As he sends one in the air to left field, playable for Joe Adell as he puts it away for the final out of the inning. Quick start for Shohei Ohtani. Only needed 10 pitches in a 1-2-3 first.
We welcome you back, and we have our Chevy Stroh poll ready to go for you on this Space City day here at the ballpark. Which Astros player, past or present, best embodies the Space City spirit? Is it Roger Clemens, the Rocket, Gordon Alvarez with his moonshots, or Nolan Ryan, the Express? Vote at ATT Sportsnet SW on Twitter. We'll let you know who wins later. TK?
I saw you brought your Space City jersey today.
Of course I did. Did you not bring yours?
No,
neither
of us did.
There's more opportunities, as they are going to wear these every Monday home game for the remainder of the season.
I love it.
We have to get a pic of us.
Oh, yeah, we do. That's actually a really good call.
Here at Minute Maid Park. I know we did it at Angel Stadium, but that doesn't make sense.
Nah.
And we need another picture. I don't think we have enough. Jared Walsh.
Yeah, I need more us, too.
Y'all.
Oh, we're kidding.
We're being mean.
We're kidding.
I like us. I think I like taking pictures together.
We actually don't. We don't get too many requests, so we'll be happy to. No, seriously, we'll be happy to wear the Space City unis. Hopefully, things get better from here on out, because players are superstitious, and so far the first inning has not been the best for the new Nike City Connect Space City outfit.
Let's hope they don't find out that we didn't bring ours.
Ooh, I have socks though.
Oh,
wow. That's next level.
Because only Jose Siri showing off his socks.
Yeah, that's leveling up.
I got me a pair of the rainbow socks.
Oh, look at you.
Wow.
That is special.
Those are.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah, GP is rocking these. These look great. Jose Altuve's got them on in the dugout. Unfortunately, it's not on the field, but they look great.
And Siri's rocking them, right?
Oh, yeah, he is. A couple of guys in the bullpen. Christian Javier.
Like Taylor picks up a strikeout of Jared Walsh. It's one away in the second. Here's Anthony Rendon. Yeah, the amount of sales on these new uniforms is literally breaking records that might never be broken. There have been 9 teams that have unveiled the Nike City Connect uniforms throughout the first 2 seasons. Last year there were 7. This year so far it's been Washington and the Astros. Series sporting those socks that Julia was displaying. So of those previous 8 teams, the Astros being the 9th, the Space City launch day, which was held in conjunction with FanFest last weekend, beat the previous record by, I'm not making this up, 329%. So
seriously?
More than triple the previous best launch day for any of these Nike City Connect uniforms.
That's aggressive.
That is.
We knew the fan base here was great, but they really jumped all over those Space City jerseys.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's pretty incredible.
When you double the previous best, that's pretty strong. That's as good as you can hope for. The Astros knew they were going to be popular. They didn't know how popular, but 329%. Like, all right, for the other 21 teams that haven't launched yet.
Good luck.
Good luck matching that number. Ground ball to Pena, and Anthony Rendon's retired. So far since Blake Taylor's come in, he's allowed 1 hit and picked up 3 outs. Velasquez reached on an error also with Taylor was pitching.
Glad I thought that Nike stock last week. That worked out well.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little boost from the Space City.
Good idea. Always good to be ahead of trends. That error by Yuli with Velasquez batting made 3 of the 6 runs unearned for Odorizzi, but it's still going to be a rough outing, 2/3 of an inning with a lot of close pitches, 4 walks, 6 runs, 3 earned. The Astros will make this a bullpen day with Taylor starting in the first inning, and their long man is Christian Javier. He will come in next inning, it appears. This ball slicing towards the crowd. Brantley will give it a look and run out of room. Four walks and 2 hits in the first inning. Odorizzi threw 42 pitches. Blake Taylor threw another 8. The Astros threw 50 pitches in the first inning to Ohtani's 10. And in time of possession, it was a 28-minute top of the first inning to 4.5 in the bottom half. There's a good pitch at the top of the zone. Gets the strike. It's 2-2. Looking at some pitches during the break, and clearly Jake didn't have his pinpoint command. You never do if you walked 4 in the first inning, but 42 pitches, 22 strikes. There were about 4 that could have gone from balls to strikes that would have helped him out tonight. But didn't get any of the margins with Jerry Meals behind the plate. Count stays 3-2 on Brandon Marsh. Marsh singled in a run his first time up. And there's ball 4. That is the 5th walk allowed by Astros pitching today. 4 of the 5 walks have come on full count pitches. That'll bring up Max Stassi. Stassi struck out looking his first time up. Stassi traded from the Astros to the Angels at the end of July of 2019. Sends one into center field, where Siri will move to his left a few steps and put it away. A walk, but a good inning for Blake Taylor. 1 man left on base. He goes an inning and a third today, as Yordan Alvarez will lead things off for the Astros. It'll be Yordan, Kyle Tucker, and Yuli Gurriel in the second.
If you think they're excited, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Be quiet, win ball games, then I'll shut up and all shut up.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, only on MLB Network.
Everyone's favorite alien is getting his own bobblehead. Get your tickets to see the Astros take on the Toronto Blue Jays this Sunday, April 24th. 10,000 lucky fans will take home an Orbit bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola. Visit astros.com/promotions today. Well, the Blue Jays coming in town after the off day tomorrow for the Astros. Toronto will play a game tomorrow at Fenway Park against the Boston Red Sox. That arrives sometime late tomorrow evening to get ready for that weekend series. The Astros will throw 3 righties against the Blue Jays. Jordan Alvarez leads off against Shohei Ohtani. Justin Verlander will pitch Friday, Jose Urquidy Saturday, and Luis Garcia on Sunday. Blue Jays will counter with Ross Stripling, Alek Manoah, and Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi, the only lefty starter in that series. Jordan playing his 7th game of the season, and all 7 have been against the Angels. Missed the Diamondback series, missed the Mariners series due to illness. When he faces the Blue Jays this weekend, will be the first game against somebody other than Los Angeles, as Shohei Ohtani uses that splitter that is so effective. Picks up his 3rd strikeout, getting Alvarez on 3 pitches.
That's a good tumbling action that you're accustomed to seeing on that split. Maybe he's getting a feel for it. It would be a tough day if he did get a feel for it for the Astros, considering them trying to battle back in this game.
So Kyle Tucker will bat. He's the only one in today's lineup with a home run against Shohei Ohtani. Tuck 2 for 7 in his career against Ohtani with a home run. Tucker had a frustrating night last night. Took a pitch that could have been at ball 4. Instead, he was rung up, hit a ball up the middle at about 100 miles an hour, hit off of Oliver Ortega. Was retired. This ball in the left center field, slicing towards Joe Adell. He'll put it away. And Tucker retired for the 2nd out. What makes Ohtani so tough with that 3-pitch mix primarily?
Well, our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud is going to show you the velocity. Obviously, the fastball is in the upper 90s, so you're going to see about 97, 98 on that pitch. The split comes in a little bit slower. He still throws it extremely hard, so the arm action is going to be very similar, which creates deception. But the tumbling action, it comes out of the hand looking like a fastball and then just the bottom falls out of it. The slider backs off a little bit. You have a tendency to pick up the rotation on both the split early and the slider early, but it's so tough to lay off the split because of the way it comes out of the hand, almost looking like a fastball. And by the time you make that decision to swing, it starts dropping out of the zone. So the idea on the split is to see it up. If you see it about chest high, then you've got a real good chance to let it fly and go get that thing. But if it's at that knee to, maybe belt buckle to knee range, has a tendency to die and be very tough to hit. I think what's interesting early on, we talked about Shohei Ohtani getting hit around a little bit early on, is the velocities have changed. The velocity is actually up on both those pitches in 2022. He was about 2 miles an hour slower on the fastball and split. And I think the slower velocity actually created a better movement on that split.
Maybe more of a tumble?
Yeah, it gave it more time to actually let the seams grab the air and really drop out of the zone and be more effective.
Last year averaging 95.6 on the fastball. This year 97.7 to Blummer's point. And 88.2 on the changeup. And this year you saw it 90.2. But still, since 2018, has been one of the most unhittable pitches in all of baseball. We'll see one of the other most unhittable pitches next inning as Christian Javier will come in out of the bullpen as Yuli flies out to right to end the inning. Shohei has faced 6 batters and retired 6 batters.
If you think they're excited, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Be quiet, win ball games, then I'll shut up or I'll shut up.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, only on MLB Network.
For the best coverage in the game, here's a look at our T-Mobile coverage cam. Some of the sights out there at NASA. A great tour if you get the opportunity to go through there. TK and I are fortunate to actually know some astronauts. And I don't know if you've been on the tour yet, but I've actually gone there and with the family, and we've thoroughly enjoyed the Space Center. Pretty incredible, and I love the connection between NASA and Houston and the Astros. They did a great job of depicting that with the lettering across the chest and that star grid on the sleeves. Very nicely done.
If you told 5-year-old me we used to have like NASA posters up in his room that I'd eventually know astronauts, that would be pretty cool.
How about that?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, Christian Javier is probably going to get an extended look in this game, and so far so good for Javi in 2022.
Yeah, he's been very good. Understands the responsibility that he has out there in that Astro bullpen, being that long guy. So he is good and ready after Blake Taylor did a pretty good job through an inning and a third. Now it's his job to go out there and continue to hopefully put up zeros and give the Astros offense a chance to get back in this game. The fastball and the slider have looked very good early on in this season for Christian Javier.
In a perfect world, I think Dusty would like to get 3 innings out of Javier today. Blake Taylor goes an inning and a third behind Jake Odorizzi's start of 2/3 of an inning. If you're just joining us getting home from work, it was an ugly start to this one with 4 walks and a couple of base hits in the first inning. Odorizzi had never walked more than 5 in any start of his career and walked 4 in the first. It wasn't like he was crazy wild all over the place, but he was just missing and ended up allowing 6 runs in the first inning, 3 earned. That'll be Adele, Tyler Wade, and Andrew Velasquez as Christian Javier shows the full Space City uniform look with the high socks. That to me, I know most of the players are going with the pants down, but that to me makes the outfit right there.
Yeah, it kind of goes with the piping through the jersey. Love that they incorporated that tequila sunrise in there and gave that shading the appropriate look on there. It's great.
Most major league players today like the full pajamas look where you go all the way down to the bottom of the shoes.
Yep.
Some guys show off the socks, Siri and Javier.
I was never a high pant guy.
No.
Never.
Always wore them down.
Always wore them down.
Yeah.
I think it was because every minor league team I ever played on never had pants that were long enough for me.
2-2 pitches hit hard into right field. That'll fall in front of Tucker. Well, Joe Adele's season started out slow. He has struck out a bunch against the Astros. When he hasn't struck out, he's picked up some hits. That's 4 hits in the last 2 games and 5 hits in the series. We'll bring up Tyler Wade.
You've really got to get on top of Christian Javier's fastball. His spin rate allows that pitch to give the illusion that it's rising in the zone, so you'll see some swings underneath. So as a hitter, you really got to tell yourself to get the hands above the baseball like Joe Adele just did.
Here's Tyler Wade. He walked his first time up, walked in a run. So in the minors, you didn't have pants that were long enough, so you had to wear stirrups.
I had to, yeah.
Wasn't a choice.
Yeah, I was going with the stirrups, and his calves were exposed, everything, and got to the big leagues, and I'm like, hey, can I get my pants down to my, shoe tops? I think it'd be kind of cool to see if I like it. And they actually were like, you can do whatever you want. I was like, wait, what? And you actually, what's kind of cool is they customize the pant. And there's actually inside the pant, there will be a label stitched in there with your name, your number, and every specific inseam, waist, the cut. If it's an open bottom where there's no elastic, it'll say, OB. So it's kind of cool, like, to the centimeter what they can actually do with these uniforms. Plus it's cool when you're all retired and old and you pull out a dusty pair of pants and you show your kids, hey, look, these are custom made for me.
I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
And you can still wear them. That's even more impressive.
Oh, extra belt loop, yeah.
Tyler Wade, the batter, with a 1-1 count. Runner on the go, pitches a strike. The throw is going to be wide. Jeremy Pena has to come off the bag to pick off that throw. Joe Adell has his first stolen base of the season. Adell last year stole 2 bags in 3 attempts. Angels lead the American League in stolen bases. In fact, they lead in most offensive categories. They lead in home runs, runs batted in, hits, and stolen bases. How about that? He's moving this year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good speed from a flat foot stance at first base to steal that bag. And again, the Astros are holding on the base runner. There's nothing in the unwritten rules that says you can't steal a base in the 3rd inning, down or up by 6, especially in a ballpark like Minute Maid Park. I think the idea is just to continue to go out there and play.
Yeah, still a lot of baseball remaining. Astros have 7 more at bats to go.
You take what's given to you.
Fastball fouled back.
I do think sometimes in these situations, a guy like Christian Javier or anybody else who's been in the same situation where your team's down by a lot, you're so hyper focused on the hitter. You know, sometimes that's where a majority of your focus is. I'm not saying he lost sight of Joe Adell, but I'm saying the focus was more or less on the hitter Tyler Wade.
Down and in, 2-2. Javier, 3 scoreless innings against the Diamondbacks on the 13th. A week ago today, threw 53 pitches in that outing. Hit a couple of batters, but didn't allow any hits. So that hit by Adell was the first hit of 2022. Got him. Swing and a miss. Tyler Wade strikes out. Christian Javier picks up his first strikeout. Astros have 4 strikeouts in the game.
This pitch a little more typical of the fastball that we were used to seeing from Christian Javier, that late life that gets above the swing of the hitters.
Well, Javier now facing Andrew Velasquez. See, Javier did allow a couple of hits in his first outing against the Angels in an inning and 2/3. Jared Walsh and Brandon Marsh, a couple of lefty hitters, had a couple of hits against him, but no hits allowed in 3 innings in his last outing against the Diamondbacks. Only 1 appearance in a Major League spring training game. Called strike, 1-1. Javier last year appeared out of the bullpen 27 times. 9 times he started games. The year before he was used mostly as a starter. 10 starts, 12 appearances in the pandemic shortened 2020 season. Just turning 25 years old at the end of spring training on March 26. Javier in his 3rd season with the Astros, getting ahead here 1-2 on Velasquez.
There's a good backdoor slider he just threw to get that 2nd strike.
Ground ball towards the middle. Nico Goodrum has it to his right. Makes the play on Velasquez. On the play, Adell moves over to 3rd. Nico Goodrum getting the start today at 2nd base. Last night, Aledmus Diaz replaced Jose Altuve. Not placed on the IL last night, but Altuve was placed on the IL before the game today. Astros hoping it's the minimum amount of time. It was backdated to yesterday, so Altuve could be eligible as soon as the second city on the next road trip when the Astros go to Toronto. And the corresponding roster move, J.J. Matijevic is selected to the Major League roster. He has never appeared in a Major League game. Matijevic, 26-year-old, was off to a hot start with the Sugarland Space Cowboys. There you see the roster move. Matijevic was not on the 40-man roster, so the Astros had to move Taylor Jones, who's been suffering from a back issue, to the 60-day IL. That is not good news. It's both McCullers recently and Taylor Jones moving to the 60-day IL. For McCullers, James Click saying it was not any change in his timetable for returning, as he is just ramping up, getting ready for his own personal spring training. For Taylor Jones, moving to the 60-day IL means that back issue is a little more serious than we initially thought.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Taylor Jones.
Oh, and 2 the count to Ohtani.
Yeah, it's frustrating with Lance McCullers, but we've talked about it so many times that everybody wants Lance McCullers back in there, but we want the Lance McCullers. No need to rush him. Make sure that he's right, get the timing down, get him 100%, insert him in there. It'll be like one of the best free agent pickups of the year if he comes back healthy and is able to contribute.
Pitch in the dirt. Ohtani now with a 2-2 count. Shohei batted twice in the first inning. Before he took the mound, he walked, scored a run, and then doubled home 2. Walked against Odorizzi to start the game and doubled against Blake Taylor. Ohtani 1 for 6 in his career against Javier with 3 strikeouts, the 1 hit, a home run. Runner on third base, 2 outs in the third inning of a 6-0 game. Line drive caught by Alex Bregman. Only defender on the left side of the infield, hit hard by Ohtani, but he lines out to end the inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. It is 6-0.
Good nights lead to great mornings. Get generic Viagra shipped discreetly to your door at RexMD.com.
Hey, it's me. The summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Legends of the Game is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. History made when this guy stepped on the field for the first time back in 1939 on April 20th. In his Major League debut, played in the same game with Lou Gehrig for the only time ever A couple of legends going at it. What's beautiful about this video right there, he's actually bunting to beat the shift that was being played against him. One of the greatest hitters of all time. One of the best left-handed hitters of all time. Everything he did was absolutely incredible and a blast to watch. And you see, April 20th through the years in Major League Baseball history, Fenway and Tiger Stadium opened up in 1912. The Cubs play the first game at Wigman Park, renamed Wrigley in 1926, and Ted Williams goes 1 for 4 in that debut.
And some historic things happening on April 20th through the years. Fenway and Wrigley, the oldest ballpark still going in the Major League. 6-time batting champ, 2-time Triple Crown winner. As smooth a swing as this music in the background.
Truly. You know what I'm thinking? I'm checking my watch.
You think it's Astros?
Yeah, I had a feeling it was Astros after dark. I was looking out the panels going, wait, the sun's still up.
We're like Pavlov's dog. And we hear that music, we think it's midnight.
Exactly. We're like, it's about to get loose.
6-0 game, bottom of the third. Well, I don't think fans would mind it getting loose. This game doesn't get much closer. And it's been really weird to see the Astros play all these games, and they came in -1 in run differential. So overall, they haven't been lopsided one way or the other. But the final scores, the last 5 games, 11-1 in Seattle, 4-0 in Seattle, the closest game of the last 5. And again, that was Verlander dominating with a 4-run lead, so it never really felt like the Mariners were that close. 7-2 loss to close out the series with the M's. And then this series 8-3 and 7-2 again. And today 6-0. Not exactly a lot of games recently for closers for either side. And the 2 games prior to that against Arizona were 1-run games, but quite frankly, they weren't very well played games.
That is putting it very politely, TK. No, I'm with you. They've been some bizarre games. It almost feels as if this 2022 season, the way it's getting off to this start, is just kind of feeling itself out. And it's hard to explain, hard to understand.
Swing and a miss. Goodrum loses his helmet and loses the at-bat as he strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Ohtani. Shohei picking up a strikeout in every inning and has struck out the leadoff batter all 3.
That was the slider on the outside corner.
I need somebody to go for launch in these new Space City uniforms. Nobody's reached base yet.
Yeah, you want to make a highlight when you're wearing uniforms like this. You want to have it on your highlight reel at the end of the year. And have some guys start to get a feel for what Shohei Ohtani's doing and take some big swings.
Oh, there we go. Almost. Jason Castro just missed extra base hits. Or an extra base hit. As he sliced that one just foul. Stay fair, stay fair.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking off the bat. You're going, oh, yeah. And then, oh, no.
Castro looking for his first hit of the season. 8 at-bats so far. American League has been really bunched up in the first 2 weeks of the baseball season. They have no teams currently more than 2 games over 500. Everybody hanging right around 500 on the season. And coming into today, no team was more than plus 15 in run differential. No team was worse than minus 15 in run differential. So everybody kind of regressing to the mean. Nobody standing out one way or the other. Off to a great start or a terrible start in terms of run differential in the AL. 1-2 pitch. Splitter for a strikeout. 5 strikeouts of the first 8 hitters. Ohtani looking very sharp early on. Much better than his last start against the Rangers.
Yeah, seems to have made that adjustment. Doing a great job of finishing that splitter. Seeing some late life on that tough pitch. Heck of a time for him to find it.
Here's Jose Siri. Siri starting both games in the series against the right-hand starter. So Chaz McCormick got a start yesterday on his birthday against the lefty Sandoval. Chaz had a couple of hits against Sandoval. For the most part, it's been the other way around, where Dusty has used Siri against lefties and Chaz against righties before this series. Sees a couple of strikes here, and Ohtani ahead quickly, 0-2. Overthrew that pitch at 22.
You're exactly right. Getting to 98 on that pitch. A little amped up.
All the Japanese media that follow Shohei Ohtani around for every start. We're not sure what to make of his first two outings with a couple of losses. Had never lost back-to-back starts before, but today he has turned it around. Shohei looking perfect so far through 3. He has struck out 6 of the 9 and not allowed anybody to reach base.
Getting outdoors is all about the experience, the thrills, the rides, the memories. We put that in a bottle. No harsh chemicals, cruelty-free, and recycled packaging. Everyman Jack, naturally derived, outdoor inspired.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive. But here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
It's hard to picture the future when you're not sure how to get there.
It's more like a feeling.
A free plan from Fidelity can help you prioritize the moments that are important to you and see them alongside your full financial picture.
The big ones. The ones that really matter.
Balance your investment mix, stay on track, and make changes. All for free.
The little stuff, we'll figure it out.
Turning a feeling into a roadmap for free? That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
We welcome you back. Series finale between the Astros and the Angels here on AT&T Sportsnet. And I found my 2 new best friends. This is Chef Scott, Chef Michael. They are in charge of all the good eats here at the ballpark. I'll start with you. What should fans be excited about here in 2022?
Well, let's be excited about the pastrami sandwich, house-made pastrami sandwich. We've got fried bread pudding, regular bread pudding served with Bluebell vanilla ice cream, Asian nachos, fried Reese's. We've got a lot of new items and those good items that everybody's accustomed to.
Yes, we're going to be talking about these all season long. Chef Michael, why is this the best pastrami sandwich ever?
So we brine it for 2 weeks, and then it's slow smoked overnight for 18 hours. We got rye bread, we got the pastrami, we got the Swiss cheese, we got coleslaw. It's a triple decker. It's a beautiful, beautiful, tasty sandwich.
It's beautiful for sure. Guys, I think there's some headed your way. This is section 116 if you're interested.
Julia finds all the good spots around Minute Maid Park.
Perks of the job.
Keep that in mind. Section 116. Sounds like a lot of cool new items on the menus this year.
Yeah, she's off to an early start because usually in the past we get first dibs, but now she's kind of beating us to it. So good for her for finding Chef Scott and figuring out all the good stuff at the ballpark.
Check swing on a 1-2 pitch. Taylor Ward, who has singled in 2 at-bats, bats for the 3rd time leading off the 4th inning. Angels sent 11 men to the plate in the first. 3 reached on hits, 1 reached on an error, and 4 reached on a walk. misses down and away, 3-2. In case it feels like the Astros have been out in the field most of the game so far. It's actually backed up with numbers. Astros have been on the field over 40 minutes in this game. When Ohtani's been out there, it's been less than 13.5 minutes. Big time of possession advantage for the Angels, and I'm not sure how he took that pitch on 3-2, but a good take by Taylor Ward on a slider that just broke off the plate. That is now 6 walks allowed by Astros pitching.
That's me at home cooking for my girls, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what my girl looks like. Just a short order cook in the off season.
Helps to have a lot of space on that grill.
Yeah, it does.
Jared Walsh has walked, scored a run, and struck out. Angels hitters batting for the 3rd time today. Astros hitters have only seen 1 plate appearance so far, as Ohtani has sent down the first 9. Walsh has walked and struck out. One of the big situations today for Christian Javier is he can't afford not to be on, because the Astros need him to eat up innings.
Yes.
He has to somehow figure out a way. And first inning, he didn't throw all that many pitches, but he's up to 27 now. He has to figure out a way to get through 3 innings. Dusty knows he's going to have an off day tomorrow, so that'll help his bullpen out a little bit. But
oh, I thought early on when you said when he came in, if he could give the Astros 3, that would be a huge help. Get him past that 5th inning, and then can start to get to those guys who are going to throw an inning maybe and not have to pressure anybody else out of that bullpen to give you multiple innings.
Here's a good slider for a swinging strike. It's 1-2. Walsh in his 4th year with the Angels. Went 0 for 4 last night, but came into today's game batting .300 against the Astros this year. Actually went 0 for 4 on Monday night. Didn't play last night against the lefty Framber Valdez. And he goes down on strikes. Good fastball, top of the zone. Christian Javier has 2 strikeouts, 1 away here in the 4th.
A couple of sliders to get back in this at bat for Christian Javier before elevating that fastball. And again, great location on it. Good spin, good velocity, 94 miles an hour to beat Jared Walsh.
Here's Anthony Rendon. He walked with the bases loaded his first time up. Rounded out his last time. Rendon takes a called strike. No Mike Trout in this series. He was hit by a pitch on the left wrist in the final game against the Rangers on Sunday. Angels are back in town here the first weekend of July, July 1, 2, and 3. Very likely you can check out Trout in that series, but Anthony Rendon was missing the first game of this series when the Astros won the opener 8-3, but played the last 2. 1-1 the count. Javier facing Anthony Rendon. There's a strike on the outside edge. Somewhere in the clubhouse, Jake Odorizzi's thinking, how did I not get that call on the outside edge?
I agree. I mean, we talked about it. I counted up 5. Our truck counted up 4. So those would have helped Jake stay in some counts, if not put guys away.
Trying to finish him off with a slider, but no swing. During this series, the Angels have taken a lot of close pitches. They have been very patient at the plate.
They've been extremely patient. This is not the same as what we've seen in the past or what we saw in that series out in LA. They've had a history of being a little more of a free swinging type bunch, but they've tightened things up.
Walked 6 times last night. They have 6 walks today, including the guy at first base, Taylor Ward. Upstairs, 3-2.
Would be interesting, and I'm sure it would please Joe Madden if they did come into the defending American League West champs house and took 2 or 3 without Mike Trout in their lineup.
Runner on the go and a foul off of Castro. Mentioned Rendon coming in over a 400 hitter in the regular season against the Astros at Minute Maid Park. Also did damage in the postseason as a member of the Washington Nationals. Swing and a miss, runner on the go. Castro's throw on the money. Jason Castro has been throwing great this year. Guns down, another runner for a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning.
That was a great pitch for the swing and miss on the strikeout. It was also a very good pitch for Castro to come out of that crouch and come up firing. The axe cutting down another run at second base. Strike him out, throw him out, end that inning.
Where there's baseball,
1 pitch away
from baseball history, there's drama.
He has thrown a no-hitter.
Where there's baseball,
near the wall,
there's action.
And he made a phenomenal catch.
And where there's baseball,
let's go live inside the park.
There's MLB Tonight. On MLB Network.
Oh, wow.
Where there's baseball all the time.
Unbelievable.
We've seen it time and time again.
Jeremy Pena leading off for the Astros here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Facing Shohei Ohtani, struck out his first time up. Ohtani striking out 6 of the first 9. Pena has faced him 3 times in his young career and struck out all 3 times. That slider has been a nuisance for Pena to try and figure out. There it is to start the at-bat.
And Ohtani's going to keep throwing it until Pena can lay off it, or if he gets a mistake to hammer it. But you can see on our Mattress Firm Super Mode, you can almost pick up that dot. That's how you see that little red dot is the rotation of that slider that you try and pick up as a hitter. But that sweeping slider from Ohtani has proven tough for Jeremy.
You're right. He's going to keep challenging the young hitter until he either lays off or makes contact, which hasn't happened so far in 4 at-bats.
You know, I talked about the split. When it's down, you know, when it's low, let it go. When it's high, let it fly. It's almost when you're facing Ohtani right on right as a right-handed hitter, you almost want to see that slider at you and have it break onto the plate, because if it starts middle, it seems to be breaking off the plate today.
Stassi setting up away. They really were seeing if he would chase that time. 1-2 the count to Pena.
Jeremy's got limits.
It'll be Pena, Michael Brantley, and Alex Bregman. Top of the order, second time around against Shohei Ohtani, who's thrown just 31 pitches through 3 innings. And he gets him with the slider. 4 sliders in that at bat. And Pena goes down on strikes. 7 strikeouts for Ohtani of the first 11 batters.
That's aggressive. You talked about him being perfect. He is looking very good. That fastball in the mid to upper 90s. The split is showing the same effect that it did last year. And that slider is proving tough to right-handed hitters.
Ohtani's career high in strikeouts was set in 2018 when he struck out 12 Oakland A's. That was in an early April start, April 8th. He's already got 7 tonight as Brantley fouls one away. Michael, one of the strikeout victims, his first time up. Three for 8 series coming in for Brantley. Michael, one of the Astros whose numbers pretty close to where his career marks are. A lot of the other guys in the lineup have been off to a sluggish start. Seeing a few numbers below 200 that you're not accustomed to seeing. Woolley and Tucker. Altuve, who's now on the injured list. Not guys you anticipate seeing averages near where they are right now as the season progresses. And Michael's a model of consistency. Down in the count here, 1-2 against the guy who is absolutely in command today, Shohei Ohtani. 28 strikes out of 38 pitches. And another strikeout. Ohtani gets Michael Brantley for the second time. Don't see that quite often. 5 batters in a row struck out by Ohtani, 8 in the game.
Stay connected with the Astros all season by following AT&T Sportsnet on social media. Get game highlights, player interviews, and special giveaways by finding us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All things Astros all season long on AT&T Sportsnet.
Every one of the strikeouts today has been a swinging strike for the Astros. Ohtani gets a lot of swinging strikes for his strikeouts in his career. Top 5 in that category. Here's Alex Bregman in terms of percentage. We've seen the Astros take 17 swings against Ohtani today, and 12 of them have been swings and misses.
That is not something you see from an Astros ball club too often. You've got to be at the top of your game to be able to make that happen. And we're seeing the best of Ohtani that we've seen as Astro broadcasters watching his games, because we talked about the numbers coming in where the Astros have done a very good job against him. in his career, bringing that 5.92 ERA into this game. But a little bit different Shohei Ohtani than we even saw from the first start of the season.
There have been 7 swings on the slider, and the slider has not been touched today.
That's the one I'm talking about. Almost looks like it's coming right at your left pocket as a hitter, and it breaks over the plate. But again, to have the discipline to be able to hold your ground and keep that front side closed to still be ready to fire on that slider is the tough part.
Ahead of Bregman 1-2. Alex flied out to left his first time up. Strikes out the side for the second consecutive inning. Ohtani has been brilliant. He has struck out 6 in a row, 9 in the game. And he is perfect through 4.
There's something about a park. The swings, the slides, the dogs. You can throw your food and wear it proudly. It's where showing off is encouraged, even if it doesn't always work out.
So, you in?
It is showtime!
Faith and Family Night returns to Minute Maid Park this Saturday when the Astros take on the Blue Jays. Join the Astros for the game and then stay for an inspiring post-game concert with Christian musician Micah Tyler. Find tickets today at astros.com/faith. Hey guys, what you doing up there?
Watch a little baseball, getting a little food delivered to the booth, Julia. It is 6-0 Angels as we head to the 5th inning. Brandon Marsh facing Christian Javier now on for his 3rd inning of work. So, Blummer, what do we have?
I think we got that pastrami sandwich. We've got the Asian nachos. We've got some bread pudding. It's basically a 3-course meal for both of us with a fine dessert at the end of it. So, yeah, TK, I'll see you in the, what, 5th, 6th?
Ball slicing into left center field, down for a hit. Siri tried to cut it off, and he couldn't quite field it cleanly. Marsh was on his way to second either way. He's going to have a leadoff double 3 times on base now for Brandon Marsh. Single, walk, and a double. So thanks to Chef Scott and Chef Michael for bringing us all these treats.
Man, this thing's a triple-decker. Not sure I can do all 3 at once, TK. I'm going to have to turn the camera off. That's a beast. Oh.
Got to move the mic away.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
They're watching. They're watching. Go ahead.
I ain't going in on this on TV, man.
That's legit. That's some pastrami. Max Stassi, the batter. 5 hits in the game now for the Angels. 2nd hit allowed by Javier. Pitch down and away. Stassi has struck out looking and flied out to center field. A lot of new food items around the concourse in 2022 that Julia was telling you about, and we get the benefit of getting to try them out. Upstairs, 2-0. Going with the Asian nachos, or you're going with the pastrami?
I'm going with the pastrami. I'm going to get in there eventually.
Waiting for an inning break?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I may have to, two-hand this thing. No, that's part of the fun of the playoffs, too, is, being able to get in the stands and hang out with the fans, but also see what's actually going on around the ballpark, and there's plenty to check out.
3-0 the count on Stassi. Here's a strike. The blummer bread pudding wasn't your thing. You have a second choice for dessert.
Are you kidding me?
You got a second choice.
That is aggressive.
It is the.
Get the whole thing in there, man. Can you lift that up? Are you strong enough?
Nike. I don't want to have it spill. Nike City Connect inspired.
Yeah, that's outstanding.
Is that an ice cream cake?
I don't know.
It feels pretty cool.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a
ice cream cake. No, it's a regular cake. That's impressive.
That is. Go ahead. Check this thing out. This looks good, man. Am I going to get yelled at if I take a swipe of this thing?
No, watch out. You got somebody with a knife on.
Holy! Heads up. Mary Carroll.
Wow.
There you go.
That's a beautiful cake.
That is. You've done this before.
Oh, look at that. Impressive. Ooh. On the ground, Bregman. Stassi will be thrown out on a 3-2 pitch. Staying at second base is Brandon Marsh. That was both an impressive cut and an impressive looking cake.
Really was. That was outstanding. Yeah, there's no way you or I could have pulled that off.
No.
No chance.
I mean, that was perfectly done. That was show.
Show cut. Show knife. I looked into the monitor and saw that thing. I panicked a little bit.
You heard the music in the background?
Yeah.
From Psycho. Here's Joe Adele. Good job, MC, on the perfect cut.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
Well played. Adele in the left field. Michael Brantley will play it. Brandon Marsh is tagging, and he's actually going to try and make it to third, and he will be safe. Surprised he came at third base with 2 outs. Took a risk and ended up working out for him, even though he may have gotten clipped in the face on the tag attempt. That was an aggressive move from second to third with 2 outs.
That was. It was actually a strong throw from Michael Brantley. It just short hopped Alex, who was trying to get the catch in the tag, right into the mug of Brandon Marsh. Tough pick at third base with that runner coming in, trying to stay focused, but took it right on the chin.
Well, Michael's had a couple of opportunities for assists the last 2 nights. Unfortunately, both throws were strong and accurate, but just short hopped Aledmys Diaz last night. And Alex Bregman tonight. A little bit of blood doesn't hurt anybody. Here's Tyler Wade. Wade has walked and struck out. That ball lofted into center field, playable. Really nice job for Christian Javier on a night where the Astros needed some length from him. He goes 3 innings. We'll see if he comes back for a 4th, but he's been good so far.
Here at MLB Network, we believe routine checkups are key to staying sharp.
How you doing, Doc? Hi, Doc.
Hi, Fred.
Hey, how are you?
Great.
All right.
Take a crack at the bottom line, please.
Oh, got it. Highlights.
And the next line.
Oh, that's easy, Doc. Post-game interviews.
Perfect. How about this one?
Quit playing games, Doc. MLB Tonight.
MLB Tonight, bringing the new season into focus. Only on MLB Network.
Shohei Ohtani has been outstanding tonight. Almost untouchable.
Pretty much so. Through 4 innings with the 9 strikeouts, he has done a very good job of throwing a lot of off speed, to be honest with you. We know that fastball is in the mid to upper 90s. We've seen him touch 98 in this game, but it's really been that slider, and he's been throwing to both right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters. And eventually, when he really wants to go to it, he'll throw that split-fingered fastball and dive underneath some swings from the Astros. Hyper effective so far in this ball game.
9 strikeouts, all on swinging strikes. Yordan Alvarez, one of the strikeout victims, his first time up. Yordan, Kyle Tucker, and Yuli Gurriel trying to solve Ohtani.
Here's some of the strikeout pitches that you're seeing. The split, 4-seam. Notice anything about the TK? All out of the zone. That shows that he's got good deception. Right here's a good idea of tunneling. Everything coming out of that delivery on that right side, but moving in different directions. So it's up to the hitter to recognize spin, speed, and potential location. But they're having a tough time laying off those pitches because they've been so sharp this evening.
Ohtani last time out, 3 2/3 innings. Through 70 pitches, allowed 6 earned runs against the Texas Rangers. A completely different story today. He is through 4 innings, and so far 3 players out of 12 have put the ball in play, and they've all been flyouts. Bregman, Kyle Tucker, and Yuli Gurriel, and they've all been relatively early in the count. He has been lethal once he's gotten to 2 strikes, picking up 9 strikeouts.
I'm not sure I've ever seen 6 Astros strike out in a row since we've been sitting up here.
You're right. Two and two the count to Yordan.
There you go. Good take.
91-mile-an-hour splitter, and Yordan takes it in the dirt. 3 and 2.
You know, it's interesting. We talk about spin rates all the time on breaking balls, on sliders, and how it creates movement and these great shapes to these pitches. The split finger is actually slower as far as spin rate is concerned for Shohei Ohtani in this outing compared to his average on the season. So you're seeing a much better action. The less spin on that split, the more drop you're going to have.
That ball in play, but in the shift, the shortstop, Andrew Velasquez, is there and puts it away. He'll be out number 1 here in the 5th inning. Now time for a message from TXU. Here's Kyle Tucker. He flied to left his first time up. That one missed the outside edge. 51 pitches in now for Ohtani, just one more pitch than the Astros threw in the first inning. Oof. That was a strike. You see that slider that starts out, in this case on the outside of the plate and breaks in. Blummer talked about that slider that starts at the righty hitter and breaks on the plate. Evens up the count 1-1 with Tucker.
That's tough right there after seeing a slider that started off the outside corner, came back on the plate, and then 96 up around your hands. It's the location, too. He's been on the edges of the zone with all of his pitches. 53 pitches, 38 strikes. And with a pretty good variety of them, too. He's thrown that slider 42% of the time in this game.
I don't think anybody has made contact, or at least coming into the inning they hadn't.
7 swings, 7 whiffs.
Called third strike, dots him up. Shohei Ohtani on his game, putting pitches where he wants. That is 10 strikeouts, 2 off his career high, 2 outs in the inning.
The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Minute Maid Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive talent, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Here's Yuli. Flied out to right field his first time up. Fans watching a little Wednesday early evening baseball in their new Nike City Connect jerseys haven't had a lot to cheer about tonight. Nobody has reached base. The Angels got on the board in a hurry, scoring 6 runs in the first. Somebody's got to go for launch in these new Space City uniforms.
I know. I can only imagine some of the quotes you've got warmed up and ready in the tank for a day like this.
1-2. All natural, Blummer. You can't practice ad-libs.
That's why you're the best.
It's got to feel it when it happens. 1-2 on Yuli. Might need to invite Neil Armstrong's son to the booth.
That's what we need
on one of our Space City broadcasts.
Yeah,
he scored a lot of runs when he was in the booth. Apollo 11 anniversary. They put up 11.
That was a good day. That was a really good day.
One and two on Yuli. Yuli and Tucker. Yuli goes around. Shohei Ohtani has struck out every single Astro in the lineup today. He has 11. We're through 5. Complete dominance from the reigning MVP.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup, or runs one down.
He caught it. Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by CarShield. CarShield cars can go farther. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. We go to the top half of the 6th inning. Angels with a 6-0 lead. Shohei Ohtani has been perfection through 5. He'll bat second in this inning. Andrew Velasquez, and then Ohtani, and then Taylor Ward. Velasquez reached on an error and also grounded out. The error proved to be costly as it allowed 3 unearned runs to score. Velasquez in his 5th Major League season, playing for his 5th different team. Hit pretty well, right center field. Tucker and Siri converge. It's Tucker who will give way to Siri. Who caught that? Siri cut right in front of Tucker at the last second. It looked like Tucker had it lined up and Siri had the angle in front of him.
First of all, I'm just glad the ball got caught. Second of all, gives you an idea of how much range these guys have. That's something that these young outfielders getting a chance to play with each other, they're going to have to try and figure out. Try and clean up those miscues a little bit and create a little more conversation. But a nice luxury to have when you have those guys able to cover that much ground.
How about Christian Javier into his 4th inning of work? Now face Shohei Ohtani for the 2nd time. Ohtani lined out to 3rd base. His 1 at bat against Javier. Tries to bunt. Javi with a nice play. Throw is high though. And Ohtani has to get back to 1st as he made a quick turn to 1st or towards 2nd before going back to the bag. So Ohtani bunting for a hit here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
Getting greedy. Saw the shift was on. You saw Alex Bregman in your screen playing back at shortstop. That's why he laid it down to beat that shift. Javier did his best to go over there and try and cover it and get the out at first base. Just a little bit high on that release point. As you see on our Mattress Firm Supermo, couldn't really get the extension with him going away from first base.
Ohtani was only 1 for 7 against Javier before that bunt base hit. Well, Shohei Ohtani made more history today when he batted twice in the 1st inning before throwing a first pitch. The only starting pitcher ever to bat twice in the 1st inning since the records go back to '74.
Continues to make history.
And a lot of pitchers, Ohtani is a different animal because he does both, but a lot of pitchers who don't normally hit much, they would be content 5 innings of perfect baseball, just relaxing and maybe not grinding out an AB. He not only wanted to grind out an AB, he bunted for a hit. Ohtani has 2 hits and a walk. He has not allowed any base runners to reach today.
Yeah, you thought switch hitters had to have split personalities. How about Shohei Ohtani? You're you're right. As much as he's trying to focus on what he's trying to accomplish on the mound, he's got to shift gears in the box and say, it would be kind of nice to go back and sit down for a little bit, but if I lay down this bunt, I'm going to boost my average.
And a guy who he's had trouble against with Javier on the mound. So the Ohtani rule that they're calling it, Rule 511A, allows Ohtani to stay in the game even if he's lifted for a reliever. He stays in the game as a designated hitter, but it's treated both ways, which is something I wasn't aware of initially. So if for some reason Joe Madden wanted to pinch hit for him, which probably isn't likely, but if that ever came up, Madden could pinch hit for Ohtani, yet he still would be in the game as the pitcher. So wow, it works both ways. If he leaves the mound, he can still hit. If he leaves as a hitter, he can still pitch. It's bizarre. So it's kind of Ohtani 2.0. He's treated as two different people.
Tell you what, I'd pick over about 19 more times. Just gas him out. Get his legs out from under him.
Ohtani's pitch count is really good right now. If the scenario presented itself where you're in the 8th or 9th inning.
Yeah. And it's the score's still.
And the score's lopsided. Would Madden just say, why even bother letting him hit here?
Yeah. Just send somebody up for that 4th or 5th at bat. Say, hey, you're pitching extremely well. We're going to keep it right there. The score's out of reach. We want you on the mound. You're more important to us on the mound.
An interesting scenario to think about if this game progresses the way it has so far. 2-2 the count. Ohtani has thrown 60 pitches in the game. That last inning of 17 pitches was the most he has thrown in any inning. He's averaging 12 pitches per inning tonight. Two and two the count to Taylor Ward. Try to hold up. There's a good slider. And Ward goes around. That is a strikeout for Christian Javier. 3 strikeouts for Javi. Secure your spot to watch the Astros with a partial plan. Whether you want to be here every series, every weekend, or have a midweek break, there's a partial plan for you. Visit Astros.com/ticket plans to find the perfect plan today. Earlier we showed you there's a pitch that's actually better than the Ohtani splitter. That's the Javier slider that has been good through his career. He picks up a strikeout there to end his day with the slider. Phil Maid will be the new pitcher here in the 6th inning. Astros trailing 6-0. Nice job by Javier.
Nice. What? With the Game Time app, I pay 60% less than this guy. 60%? Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price. Download Game Time now. Nice shirt.
Good nights lead to great mornings. Get generic Viagra shipped discreetly to your door at RexMD.com.
Hey, it's me. The summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
Back here at Minute Maid Park, top of the 6th inning, 2 outs, a runner on first base. Astros rocking the Space City uniforms as Phil Maton comes out of the bullpen in relief of Christian Javier, who gave the Astros 3 2/3 innings in 4 games this season. Maton has a 2.08 ERA, 5 strikeouts to 3 walks. He's thrown 3 1/3 innings against these Angels, given up 4 hits and allowed 1 earned run and 3 strikeouts in those 3 1/3 innings pitched.
I'm not sure if you can have much of a start of the game when you're down 6-0 and don't have a base hit, but I think Christian Javier has earned start of the game at this point for saving the bullpen with getting 11 outs today. As Maton gets Walsh to foul one back. The Shohei Ohtani, who bunted for a hit on first base now with 2 outs. It's been a little bit of an extended inning for him in between, but he's dealt with that all game long. The Angels batted for 28 minutes in the top of the first. He batted twice. Has walked and struck out twice, struck out against Blake Taylor in the second and against Christian Javier in the fourth. Strike called. Maton ahead 0-2.
Maton's got that good fastball. He's able to get the swing and miss on those, and good location on that last one. He's got a very good curveball, pretty good slider. Got Walsh way out ahead on that curveball.
Quite a show for the Angels today. Shohei on base for the 3rd time. The only time he was retired, he lined out to Bregman. This one slowly hit. Nico Goodrum will make the play. Walsh retired for the final out of the 6th inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Ohtani back to the mound through 5 perfect innings. It's the Angels 6 and the Astros nothing.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy.
What?
And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts.
Seriously?
Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
play is driven by Toyota. Let's take it back with the space theme here. It was Apollo 11 night at the ballpark. It was the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing in 2019. The Astros launching. Yuli Gurriel went deep. Aledmys Diaz homered. And then Yordan Alvarez. Watch this one go. He had his 11th home run of the season that night. That number 11 was everywhere on this particular game. They scored 11 runs to beat the A's 11-1. The Astros pitchers struck out 11. Just a memorable one at Minute Maid Park. You guys remember?
Yeah, guess what number's leading off this inning? Number 11. Maybe that's pointing in the right direction. I like the setup, Julia.
Make a wish?
Yeah, let's go. May need more than that, but here we go.
Niko Goodrum leading off, wearing the 11th. Yeah, Rick Armstrong was up in the booth. Goodrum tries to bunt his way on after 5 perfect innings. Ohtani bunted in the top of the inning for a hit. But sometimes that first hit not always looked upon with great delight if there's a bunt attempt for the first hit in the shift.
Yeah, considering what Ohtani's doing right now, I'm sure the Angels aren't happy about that. Trying to get something going.
Ohtani has struck out every batter in the lineup at least once. He has struck out Pena and Brantley twice. He has 11 strikeouts of 15 batters, 45 strikes of 62 pitches, and now he delivers a splitter in the dirt. 1-2 to Niko Goodrum. 11 strikeouts, 10 of them swinging. It has been about as dominant a performance as we have seen against the Astros in a long time.
That slider you just saw Goodrum foul off in this ball game has induced 9 swings up until that one, had 9 whiffs.
So that was the first ball touched on the slider.
Think about that.
First time the Astros have even touched the slider, a foul ball. Up and in, 2-2.
So he's thrown 25 sliders. He's had 9 swings, or 10 swings, 9 whiffs, 11 called strikes.
Yeah, that'll be 20 called strikes or whiffs out of 26 sliders.
Unbelievable.
Off the charts. He's 1 away from his career high in strikeouts set in 2018. And there it is. Matches his career high with a dozen as he strikes out Niko Goodrum. Just got a piece of it, but caught by Stassi. 12 strikeouts, first out of the 6th.
That was a little more of the traditional curveball. You see that 12-6 movement, the velocity pulled back on it. That was only the 6th curveball he's thrown.
Jason Castro will bat. He struck out his first time up. Thing that might prevent Ohtani today or stop him at some point, as good as he has looked, is the pitch count. Wonder how far they will let him go. It's in pretty good order right now at 67, but once he gets towards 100 or 110, that will be a potentially difficult decision. So there's slider number 27, and 21 of them have been strikes, either swinging.
That's the 10th swing and miss on the slider.
out of 11 swings.
Wow.
That's an unhittable pitch today. Usually the splitter's unhittable. The splitter's only had 2 balls that have not been swings and misses. 2 fouls out of 7 swings. The other 5 have been swings and misses on the splitter. So every time he's thrown the slider or the splitter today, the ball has not been put in play. 18 swings, 15 whiffs, and 3 fouls. Yeah, those 2 pitches.
Sometimes when you see guys go out there, Clayton Kershaw had that perfect game going earlier in the year for the Dodgers. But the combination of the perfection he's working with and doing it with the swing and miss is what's making it extra special.
And he's been on base 3 more times than he's allowed anybody on base as a hitter. That's about as much of a one-man show as he can get. That's why they call him Showtime. 3-1 the count. Castro has one of the few hitters counts in this game. First 3 ball count of the day. And of course, he dots up a slider on the outside edge. Somebody who's playing a video
That's
game
unbelievable.
today.
Yeah, he's got a joystick on the mound. He's just maneuvering this pitch wherever he wants. That slider has been unreal tonight. I mean, the reaction from Jason Castro was, are you kidding me? Like you said, finally get into a hitter's count. Go ahead and pump 98, but he throws a backdoor slider that paints the outside edge.
Into center field, Jason Castro has the Astros' first base hit of the game. Is the first base runner in a Space City uniform. And that was only the 4th or 5th ball put in play today against Shohei Ohtani.
It's pretty amazing how things work out, but MLB actually sent a notification to my phone talking about the perfect game. And 2 pitches later, the perfect game is over.
Sent it just now.
Sent the alert to my phone. So I credit them for sending that out. And I also credit Jason Castro for the ability to stay on that slider. That was a slider he got a hit on. That's amazing. This has been an incredible performance by Shohei Ohtani.
First slider put in play today by the Astros results in a hit. Now Jose Siri pops a slider way up in the air. That'll be Tyler Wade who puts it away for out number 2.
Great job by the veteran Jason Castro.
That was his first knock of the year, and it came against a guy who hasn't allowed anything else all game. Now all of a sudden the Astros have put 2 sliders in play on back-to-back pitches. He's losing it.
The wheels have come off on Shohei Ohtani.
Speaking of sliders, Pena has seen enough sliders in his career already. 4 at-bats against Shohei. He has struck out 4 times on the slider and missed some other pitches along the way before the strikeout pitch.
Yeah, it's been a tough matchup for the young shortstop for the Houston Astros against Shohei Ohtani. He's not the only one that's lined up today, though. It's been a dominant performance. There's a start laying off that first pitch slider.
Last at bat, he threw him only sliders and picked up his 7th strikeout. Jason Castro, the only base runner of the game for the Astros. Pumps 96 in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Pena today seeing a lot of sliders. Last time he faced Ohtani, he faced 5 out of 6 sliders. Today it's been only 2 fastballs and the rest sliders, 8 out of 10 sliders. So in his career, 13 out of 16 pitches from Ohtani to Pena have been that slider. And now add another one to that total. 2-2. dialed up on 97, and now Pena has run the count full. So if nothing else, the Astros have put a few more pitches on Ohtani the last couple of innings. 17 pitches last inning was his high total of the game. He has thrown another 18 pitches here in this inning, which is now the new high total. Joe Maddon starting to scour the lineup card to see where he might match up his relievers as Ohtani approaches 80 pitches.
Good job. Seeing some growth in this game from Jeremy Pena, taking some tough sliders, laying off. He did chase one in this at bat, which was a pretty good pitch. But here he gets that one where he had to stay on it a little bit and put a good swing on it.
So after the Astros didn't have a slider touched until this inning, they're fouling off a few and putting a few in play this inning. And a great plate appearance by Jeremy Pena, drawing that walk against the guy who had dominated him in 4 previous at-bats over 2 starts.
Yeah, that might get a visit from the pitching coach, and it might get some guys moving around in that Angel bullpen.
And now a word from Jack in the Box.
Pop my $5.99 classic and spicy 50-50 popcorn chicken combo. Order on the Jack app today.
You know, I am all for two-way players doing everything and being the best they can possibly be. And Shohei Ohtani is obviously the most talented player in the game right now, being able to do both. But you wonder, as good as he was going, you bunt for a hit, you're on the bases a long time in that inning.
I completely agree.
This is the first inning where he's looked hittable.
Yes.
And it hasn't been like he's leaving a lot of pitches up, but he is not quite as sharp as he was his first 5 innings.
Yeah, base hit on a slider that stayed out over the plate. Granted, it was a 3-2 count, and he wanted to throw a strike, but eventually Castro put a good swing on that one, got the base hit, broke up the perfect game. But then Jeremy Pena, who he's absolutely owned, I guess, early on in his career with the slider, missing off the plate and allowing the walk. So there is a glimmer of hope.
Brantley puts this one in play, but backhanded nicely by Tyler Wade, who puts it away for the final out of the inning on the throw to Jared Walsh. That was the first out on the ground for the Astros today. Sharply hit ground ball by Michael Brantley. A hit and a walk. Astros get their first 2 base runners, but trail 6-0.
The Shiner Box spotlight is going to fall on Kyle Tucker with 3 defensive runs saved. Did a great job early in the season out there in Anaheim, taking away a potential RBI for Mike Trout with his arm. Here, shuts down Shohei Ohtani with that throw. then did a great job in his home ballpark anticipating the carom off the wall. Little spin move to get some momentum behind that throw and cut down Jack Mayfield. And here's that play on our StatCast 3D. Little simulation in the avatar of Kyle Tucker cutting down Super Jack. Fun with animation. Some numbers to go along with it. Great plays this season from Kyle Tucker.
That was a laser beam as Phil Maton spins one, but spins one off the shoulder or helmet of Anthony Rendon. That'll be a hit by pitch on a breaking ball that never got near the plate. Phil Maton in his first full inning of work after getting the last out of the 6th inning.
Yeah, that's one that just got away.
Well, Rendon reaches for the second time. I see the Angels bullpen is moving around. Ryan Tepera.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani's at 81 pitches. Ohtani struck out 12 of the first 16 batters today. He's only allowed 1 hit and 1 walk, both coming in the 6th inning. Of his 81 pitches, 38 have been in the last 2, and maybe it might be enough for Joe Madden today. Brandon Marsh bats a single, a walk, and a double. That one out of play, 1-1. Angels with 6 hits. They got 3 of them in the first inning. Blake Taylor allowed 1 hit over an inning and a third. Christian Javier 3 2/3 shutout inning. That one down and it almost hits Marsh, and it does. Back-to-back hit batters. So Marsh hit on the foot, reaching base for the 4th time today. Maton has hit Rendon and Marsh to start the 7th inning.
Sometimes there's not enough spin, and sometimes there's too much spin. Just glancing off that left shin of Marsh.
Now Max Stassi will bat with 2 on. Maton hit 6 batters last year, 3 with the then Indians, now Guardians, and 3 with the Astros. Stassi 0 for 3 today. On the ground towards short. Pena will get it to Goodrum in a hurry, and Nico's throw in time to get Stassi for the double play. Hit hard by the former Astro catcher, but hits into a double play.
Ball hit hard by Max Stassi. Good job by Jeremy Pena moving to get in front of that to make sure he caught it, and then gave a good feed to Nico Goodrum, who finished it off by turning that double play. Much needed double play. Pretty quick hands from Jeremy.
He's been a smooth defender in the first 10 games of his career. Now game number 11. Here's Joe Adell. Adell 1 for 3 today. Single and stole a base in the 3rd inning. Ball outside, 2-1. In addition to the 6 hits for the Angels today, they've drawn 6 walks, and 2 batters got hit in this inning. Adele pops one high in the air, shallow left. Out goes Pena. In comes Brantley. Pena will make the call and the catch, and that'll do it for the Angels, as he and Mike talked about it on the way back to the dugout. So a couple of hit batters don't hurt Phil Maton as he gets through the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch time here. 6-0 Angels.
Every game, every night, everything you need to see. Get all the highlights with the fastest hour on television. Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
There's something about a park. The swings, the slides, the dogs. You can throw your food and wear it proudly. It's where showing off is encouraged, even if it doesn't always work out.
So, you in?
It is showtime!
Time to play Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. Here are today's clues. Cannonball! Braves, New World, no summer break. Send your guesses to @ATT Sportsnet SW. Name That Astro, powered by Reliant.
I think I know this one.
I think if you did the clue, it would have given it away. What a day for Shohei Ohtani, who leaves the game after 6 innings. The Astros are happy to see anybody not named Ohtani on the mound after a brilliant performance.
I don't know about anybody as Ryan Tepera comes into the game, but Shohei had himself an unbelievable night, spoiled by a Jason Castro swing. Because up until that point, he was absolutely devastating and literally the definition of unhittable with that slider split combination that he had.
Nobody touched the slider for the first 5 innings. It wasn't until Nico Goodrum fouled one off in the 6th inning that any Astro didn't swing and miss at the slider. He was 9 for 9 on the slider, getting swings and misses of those that took a swing at that pitch. And then after Goodrum fouled one away, Jason Castro actually had a base hit on the slider, and then Jose Siri popped up on the slider. The Astros put a few in play after that pitch was devastating as Ryan Tepera takes over in the 7th.
A couple of those earned runs this season for Ryan Tepera were off the bat of the 2 guys coming up in this inning. Alex Bregman got him in Anaheim. So did Yordan Alvarez for back-to-back home runs off Ryan Tepera.
See if they can recreate that magic today. The Astros have 9 outs to work with, trailing 6-0. All the runs in this game came in the top of the 1st inning. Bregman has flied out and struck out. Ohtani ends up matching his career high with 12 strikeouts. Picked up 12 strikeouts in a game against the A's in 2018. He does pick up 12 strikeouts today in only 6 innings of work, throwing 81 pitches. Bregman on the ground towards short, backhanded by Velasquez. His throw a little bit low, but Walsh is there for out number 1.
Got some league leaders for you, presented by Houston Methodist. Yordan Alvarez coming to the plate. Highest average exit velocity, a minimum of 20 batted balls in play, and Yordan Alvarez right at the top with 100.6. He is an absolute masher. His countryman Jose Abreu right behind him, and Giancarlo Stanton, Byron Buxton. A couple of subtle adjustments to his swing, and he's really started to get the barrel to the baseball consistently, and then Steven Duggar is on there.
That exit velocity stat has been the Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton show really the past 3 or 4 years, but if anybody can unseat those two Yankees, it might be Yordan Alvarez, who finished 8th last year in average exit velocity in the major leagues. And small sample size, but the only one over 100 miles an hour early on this year. This ball sent in the air to left field. Joe Adell coming in, puts it away for out number 2. Ryan Tepera, 2 outs out of the Angels bullpen. I'll bring up Kyle Tucker. I think the off day tomorrow will come in handy to a few guys. Probably Kyle Tucker will feel a lot better about the off day if he gets a knock here. It's been a tough road for Tucker, 0 for 8 in the series. He has drawn a couple of walks, but he has seen that batting average drop below 100 in the early part of this season. We've documented some of the tough outs Tucker has hit into. He's been called out on some marginal calls by home plate umpires as well. He's just 4 for 41 on the season. 2 of those 4 hits were home runs against the Angels. And that big offensive outburst in Game 3 of the season. 2-0 the count to Tuck. Tucker hits one high and deep towards the Astros bullpen. Brandon Marshall, long run, and he's going to make the play on the warning track for the final out of the inning. The frustration continues for Tucker. A 1-2-3 inning for the Angels. Ryan Tepera.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art? Construction? Baseball?
How'd you guess?
With the help of Major League Baseball, the Boys and Girls Clubs of America help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
Start your weekend off right with Friday night fireworks at Minute Maid Park. Every Friday features a post-game fireworks show with a special soundtrack celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Astros. Get your tickets today at astros.com/fireworks. So that's how you're going to kick it off. The Blue Jays are in town this weekend, a 3-game series, which means George Springer's back in town. He's going to actually play in this ballpark the first time since he's not been an Astro. How about Justin Verlander, though, kicking off the series by starting Friday night? I'm excited for this one, guys.
Should be a good matchup, Astros and Jays. 2 of the favorites to win the American League championship in 2022. Rafael Montero takes over here in the 8th inning. First pitch swinging is Tyler Wade, and he sends a line drive to Yuli Gurriel, gloved in the air, according to Ed Hickok, so Yuli doesn't have to get to the bag. That'll be out number 1 on 1 pitch.
Montero coming in, he's had a great start to the season, and it's so great that I've never seen this before. His xFIP is negative.
I've never seen that.
No walks, 8 strikeouts. His whip is at .5, but I've literally never seen a negative 6.1. That's going above and beyond.
I didn't know you could go to the negative numbers. Good for him.
He's a first.
Finding new dimensions on this Space City uniform unveil. Andrew Velasquez 0 for 3, reached on an error his first time up. There's a strike. Yeah, Julie was mentioning the Blue Jays coming into town. We'll finally get a chance to see George Springer, other than just doffing his cap with the El Grande presentation last year, welcoming him back. But he didn't play against the Astros either here or in that series in Buffalo last year. Springer in his first year with the Blue Jays played against every American League team but the White Sox, the Tigers, and his former Astros. So see George here on Friday against Justin Verlander. Should be an entertaining start to the series. Montero with a 1-2 count on Velasquez. Okay, so I say that we should see Springer, and now I'm looking at their box score today.
Come on.
I'm hoping.
Day off?
No, he started.
Oh.
But it's the 6th inning, and he's now out of the game. 5-1. So
maybe he caught the early flight.
So 96 fuel.
Man, oh man.
I like what I've seen from the right arm of Rafael Montero. How can you not?
You know, he was injured a little bit last year, right around that when that trade went down, so we really didn't get a chance to see Rafael Montero. But man, has he come back with a vengeance and really proven his worth in that bullpen for the Houston Astros. That arm looks great.
Drops in a little 92 change piece to Ohtani.
Gosh, these pitchers, some of these guys are really good. And this hitter is a really good pitcher today.
Ohtani has been on base 3 times as a hitter. He's only allowed 2 to reach base as a pitcher. George got hit by a pitch today. Bradley Zimmer took over in center field for the Jays. Near the left forearm he was hit.
Oh no.
So see, hopefully the off day and everything will be fine and he'll be in there Friday, but it has been a strange stretch for George Springer since joining the Blue Jays, not facing his team last year, and we'll see about his availability come Friday. 1-2 the count. Montero ahead of Ohtani. Montero is the 5th pitcher of the ball game for the Astros. I wonder if Jason Castro had not had that base hit in the 6th inning, if Ohtani would have gone out for another inning. I mean, he wasn't going to finish the game regardless, but he was at 81 pitches, and He did throw 80 in his first start against the Astros, so it's not like he couldn't get to 90, you would think, in start number 3 when he threw 80 on opening day. This one slicing, long run for Brantley, and Michael will get there for the final out. Another highly impressive inning for Rafael Montero, who continues to deal in 2022. He's been unhittable.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup, or runs one down.
He caught it. Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
This week on Astros Bases Loaded, Alex Bregman helps create a space for autistic kids at Minute Maid Park. We'll show you some of the other new things to do that you can eat and do around the ballpark. And Ryan Stanek shows us the art of the split finger fastball. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded, Friday at 4:30 and all season long, only on AT&T Sportsnet. How was the food, guys?
Extremely good. Yeah, that sandwich was very nice. Still working through the cake.
Oh, save me a piece. Save my mom a piece. It's her birthday.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
We just
I could have used that like 3 innings ago.
We had no idea. We sent the cake down to our crew in the truck.
That's okay.
So if they're listening.
We have cake at home. It's okay.
That was a special cake.
Yeah, it was.
That was a Space City cake. Happy birthday to your mom.
She's actually here somewhere, so.
Even more reason to be able to hand her.
I'll send her to the truck.
Yeah, we're going to try and cheer her up with some cake, yeah.
Here's Yuli Gurriel leading off, facing Ryan Tepera. Second inning of work for Tepera. A little tapper back to the mound, and Tepera will make the play for out number 1. Tepera has retired all 4 batters he has faced. Astros still with only 2 base runners today. Jason Castro singled him to center field, and Jeremy Pena, who drew a walk. Here's Nico Goodrum. Goodrum swings through the first pitch. We mentioned early in the game the Astros' margin of either victory or defeat lately has been around 6 per game since the beginning of the Seattle series, with the closest score being a 4-0 win in Seattle. Today we're trending in that same direction. The Astros still with 5 outs to work with, but trailing 6-0 to the Angels. There have not been a lot of tight games for Houston in the last couple of series. 3 games in Seattle and 3 here against the Angels. Look out, that was right into the Angels dugout. Everybody seems to be okay on that check swing foul ball. Astros caught Shohei Ohtani today on a day where he's been as good as maybe ever in his career, matched his career high in strikeouts. Only allowed 1 hit over 6 innings. Struck out 12 of the first 16 batters he faced. When he struck out Goodrum in the 6th inning, that was 12 strikeouts. Only 4 balls have been put into play at that point, with 1 out in the 6th inning. Hard to imagine. That was as dominant as we've seen since we've worked together, a pitcher against the Astros.
Yeah, that's why that 6 strikeouts in a row blew me away. I've never seen the Astros do that. But that really gives you an idea of how dominant Shohei Ohtani was. And here's our All-State Mayhem moment, courtesy of Jason Castro in that Space City uniform, trying to figure out and break up that perfect game. Got a slider he could handle and punched it into center field. There were 11 whiffs on the 35 sliders Shohei Ohtani threw, which is a remarkable number. But credit the veteran catcher for the first hit of the season and the first hit of this game that broke up that perfect game against Shohei.
There is Shohei Ohtani. As a hitter, he's been on base 3 times, only allowed 2 base runners in 6 innings. 1 off of Clayton Kershaw's brilliant 13 strikeout game that Blummer referenced earlier this year in Minnesota when he left the game with a perfect game. Castro thought that might have been low and steps out of the box. It's 0-2. Pena taking over for Ohtani, pitching in his 2nd inning. Pena signed a 2-year deal with the Angels on March 19th after last year's splitting time between the Cubs and the White Sox. First outing that he faced the Astros on opening day, they got him for 2 home runs, as Blummer mentioned, with Bregman and Alvarez hitting back-to-back to start that inning. But today he has been strong. Tepera picking up a strikeout, retires all 6 in 2 perfect innings. Astros trail heading to the 9th. Here's our AT&T Fiber game summary. It was all Showtime today. Shohei Ohtani Getting so many swings and misses on the slider, the Astros didn't put a slider into play until that final inning. Splitter was good too. He picked up 12 strikeouts in 6 innings, matching his career high, which he did against Oakland in 2018. In that game, he threw 7 innings of 1 hit, 1 walk baseball. Today, the same line over 6 innings. After Shohei left the game, Ryan Tepera 2 perfect innings, and the Astros bullpen has been really good after Jake Odorizzi struggled to get through the first inning.
Yeah, a lot of credit to this guy in the middle right there. Christian Javier eating up some innings, throwing 55 pitches. But yeah, these guys have done a very good job accepting the responsibility, keeping this game right where it's at, and allowing plenty of time for the Astros offense to get back in it. They just ran into that buzzsaw known as Shohei Ohtani's slider. But a credit to those guys for going out there and competing and putting up goose eggs.
Ryan Stanek will take over and pitch the 9th inning in this 6-0 contest.
Power right arm, and to your point about some of the scores in these games recently not lending themselves to save opportunities is why Ryan Stanek is in here right now. Get some work, keep this game right where it's at.
And it's also the same reason the Angels closer is warming up, even though it's a 6-run cushion right now. Raisel Iglesias
got that day off tomorrow.
Angels don't want to see him go too long without getting an appearance. Yeah, all the runs in this game scored in the first 10 batters of the game. Shohei Ohtani's double drove in 2 to make it 6-0 as he batted for the 2nd time in the first inning. And we haven't seen anybody score since the top of the first. Taylor Ward been on base twice, 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Splitter misses wide from Stanek. It's 1-2. So 2 highlights today: the unveiling of the Space City uniform and the bullpen doing a nice job, but very little offense. The Astros trail 6-0. Pulled that fastball at 99. Astros in danger of falling to 500 on the season in the first 12 games. Started out the year 4-1 after a victory in Arizona against the Diamondbacks in game 1 of that series. Unless they mount a big comeback, they will have lost 5 of their last 7.
Tell you what, the chase percentage in this series has been great for Angel hitters. They've laid off a lot of pitches on the edges.
That time Ward strikes out on a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. First strikeout of the first batter for Stanek.
Join the Astros this Friday as they take on the Toronto Blue Jays. 10,000 fans will take home their own Alex Bregman Colt 45's throwback jersey presented by Coca-Cola. Enjoy the game and the giveaway. Find tickets at astros.com/promotions.
The 9th strikeout for Astros pitching today. Christian Javier leading the way with 4. Walsh down in the count 0-1. Walsh 0 for 3 with a walk. Good crowds for all 3 games of this series. Astros with a sellout in the home opener on Monday. They had over 30,000 last night and just under 30,000 today. This is a crowd that was ready to check out the new Space City uniforms and have a good time on a late afternoon, early evening Wednesday night game. But they have not had a whole lot to cheer about tonight. Angels jumped the Astros early, and only 2 base runners for Houston in the 6th inning, and that's been it. There's a strike, 2-2.
Stanica's popping that mitt tonight.
98, 99, huh?
Yeah, consistently.
We've seen him with a tick up in velo. And now his third outing of the season from last year. Ooh.
Right after him.
2 strikeouts, both at 99 miles an hour. Now the Astros have 10 strikeouts as a staff on the game. It is time to name that Astro, powered by Reliant. I should let Blummer do the first clue.
I'll just tell you who it is.
Braves New World, no summer break, and
McCann Ball. One of my favorites, Brian McCann.
One of the best guys to wear an Astros uniform, was here for 2 years, and talk about a guy who commands a clubhouse.
Truly, really did. He was a nice addition to that ball club, nice addition to that pitching staff. All around great human. One of those key free agent signings that really solidified a team that was learning how to win and learning how to play through a 162 game season.
Brian McCann, today's Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. Astros will have a road series this year in Atlanta. It'll be in August, the 19th, 20th, and 21st.
That'll be my first trip to the newest stadium in Atlanta.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I missed it last time you guys were making the tour of the National League East. I think we could put in a phone call and get McCann there.
That year, and then last year, games 3, 4, and 5 of the World Series.
I didn't have a chance to go on the road for those World Series games.
But we might see BMAC.
That would be outstanding.
Lives in the area, and it would be great to catch up with him. That would be part of a White Sox Braves road trip in August. Two and two the count to Anthony Rendon.
My apologies. He was traded from the Yankees to the Astros.
Two is up. 3-2. Rendon walked and reached on a hit by pitch. He's also grounded out and struck out. Braves lost today in LA. Dodgers 5, Braves 1. It was kind of like watching an old Astros game with Charlie Morton starting and Colin McHugh coming in out of the bullpen for him. In the air, pretty well hit. Siri on the run, though. Jose covers a lot of ground in center and puts it away. For the final out of the inning, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Ryan Stanek a perfect ninth. We head to the bottom half, 6-0 Angels.
There's something about a park. The swings, the slides, the dogs. You can throw your food and wear it proudly. It's where showing off is encouraged, even if it doesn't always work out.
So, you in?
It is showtime!
Houston Astros baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is presented by Rooms to Go. Get fashion, style, and quality all at low prices on every item, every day. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Coming up after the game, it'll be the Astros post-game show presented by Whataburger. All the highlights. Julia will gather some interviews from the Astros clubhouse. Haley Griffin will be hosting tonight. Raisel Iglesias will take over. Usually doesn't pitch in a 6-run game, but just getting work in today, facing Jose Siri, Jeremy Pena, and Michael Brantley.
Yeah, this is a tough draw in this game where you normally wouldn't see Raisel Iglesias. 2.25 on the season. He has great stuff.
Play made by Tyler Wade for out number 1. The Angels bullpen has picked up where Shohei Ohtani left off by retiring 7 batters. Ryan Tepera perfect through 2 innings, struck out a couple, and now Iglesias gets the first batter in the 8th. Last year, it wasn't until the second half of the season, game number 88, before the Astros were shut out for a second time. They're in danger of being shut out twice in their first dozen games this year. Shut out 2-0 with Noah Syndergaard on the mound. Game 3 this season, and trailing here today 6-0. Jeremy Pena, one of the 2 base runners, drew a walk his last time up. An impressive walk for the young shortstop, considering he had really struggled with Ohtani prior to that. 1-1 to count. That didn't have to be a strike.
Oh, it didn't.
It was called a strike. Pena hitting a home run last night. Last run the Astros have scored. And both of his home runs against the Angels this year. And he goes down looking at a fastball for a called 3rd strike.
Hey, I've got the results from tonight's Chevy Stroh poll for you. Which Astros player best embodies the Space City spirit? Yordan Alvarez just beats out Nolan Ryan, 42% to 40%. Thanks for voting at AT&T Sportsnet SW. Nolan rarely loses.
Rarely.
Still dominant.
Michael Brantley fouls one away. Michael struck out a couple of times against Shohei and also grounded out. Well, one of those days, Blummer, where just every once in a while the other team pitches better. Brantley slices a foul, and today the Astros ran into Shohei Ohtani at his best.
Yeah, I was going to say there are days that you're going to run into very good pitching and get stymied a little bit, or you're going to have great defense played against you and miss out on some key opportunities. But Shohei did not give the Astros anything that they could square up and do damage on.
He drove in 2 runs himself and scored a run and didn't allow anything as a pitcher.
He had more hits than the Astros
as an individual.
So he single-handedly took care of this game today.
He was on base more than the Astros and obviously drove in more runs. It's kind of like back when they had Eddie Feigner pitching for the king in his court, where he could do it all by himself. He would call the outfielders in, and basically he didn't need many defenders. There was only wasn't until the 7th inning when Michael Brantley hit a ground ball, or the end of the 6th, before there was a ground out against Shohei Ohtani, so the infield could have not showed up for the first 17 outs, and Shohei would have had the same result. Well, that'll do it. Brantley grounds out to end the game. A one-hit, three-pitcher combined shutout. Shohei, the star, Ryan Tepera, and Raisel Iglesias combined for 3 perfect innings behind Shohei. Tough day for the Astros. They lose the series, and they drop to 6-6 on the year. Post-game show coming up right around the corner.